Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Caleb Sharp, and I'm very happy to be here today. Now, I wanted to start off with a question. How many of you have ever owned a pet? Okay, fantastic. Plenty of people. Well, if not, that's okay. I think if you ask any pet lover, pet owner, they would all agree with me when I say that it is one of the best decisions you can make. Growing up, I had lived with cats all my life. My parents had cats. At one point, there were 4 cats in the house at once, which is a lot of cats. Needless to say, I am a cat person. Now today I want to talk about a very special cat that's very dear to me. His name is Goosey. Now, Goosey is the first cat I have ever owned personally. So I've never had to take full responsibility of an animal before now. I think the bond between pet and owner is a really special thing. Now, I want to tell you about how I helped save Goosey's life and how he returned that favor. In my speech, I'm going to talk about Goosey's health and his history when I first got him. I'm going to talk about his care, how I took care of him and nurtured him back to health. And I'm going to talk about the impact that he had on my life. So picture this. It's a warm summer day at the SPCA. This is in Brandywine, Pennsylvania, near Westchester. The hustle and bustle of the day. People are coming and going, seeing animals, adopting animals. A person walks in with a carrier, sets it down, and leaves. The animal in that carrier was none other than my cat, Goosey, who had been left at the SPCA and now without a home. The SPCA thankfully took him in, as they should, and gave him the nickname Castaway because of his circumstances. Now, thankfully, Castaway, or Goosey, had been adopted pretty soon afterward by a man who had to unfortunately return him a few days later because he recently landed a job that had demanding hours and he couldn't take care of the cat. Very understandable. Next, he was adopted out to a family who came up with an excuse to return him the very next day. This is around the time when Goosey became very sick. Around the SPCA, cats tend to get a little sick. They're all in one enclosed space, so they come down with some sort of flu, feline cold, you name it. However, for Goosey, this developed into something much worse. He developed an eye infection, and that led to him not wanting to eat food, drink water, and essentially he became immobilized for nearly a week, which, if you know anything about cats, that can be very deadly. More than 3 or 4 days without food or water can lead to a cat's death. What's worse is that he also developed a really bad eye infection, and he developed a tear in the left membrane of his eye. The SPCA workers were scared that he would lose his eye. This is around the time when I visited Goosey. Goosey had just started eating again. His eye was looking up, but still very worrisome. I had gone there to the SPCA with my girlfriend just to look. The workers told me about the story of Goosey, and I was moved by him when I went up to him, and despite his atrophied back legs from not moving for nearly a week and losing all that body mass, he still wanted to come to the window to say hi to me. Turns out he loved going around the entire room saying hi to the other animals. So within an hour, Goosey was coming home with me. Now, I've told you about his health, and I want to tell you about the special care that comes with it. So let me tell you about that. I went to the SPCA, brought him home, and they sent me with a lot of medicine for Goosey. Because of his eye, he had to have lots of eye medicine. So an ointment that had to go on twice a day for 3 weeks, eye drops daily, and antibiotics to help cure any sort of infection that was still there. I had to monitor his eye daily to make sure it didn't get worse, because there was still a risk that he would lose his eye. The atrophy in his back legs was severe. He couldn't jump up on tables, on chairs, on the sofa, so I had to carry him sometimes into bed. He needed exercise, so I would have to play with him a lot, so he developed the strength he needed to be a normal cat again. It felt great needing to care for an animal. Seeing a cat that was skin and bones, it was heartbreaking, but healing that cat and spending time together had a significant impact on me. This was unlike any other previous pet that I had. See, as a family, with family pets, you have a shared responsibility for that animal, but as the sole owner of that cat, it felt rewarding to take care of this animal's every need. Now, I've told you about Goosey's story and his recovery, but now I want to tell you about the impact he's had on my life. So I think I got Goosey at the perfect time. See, I was struggling. In a post-pandemic world, I had lost my grandmother to COVID, my parents were going through a nasty divorce, and I was struggling in school because we were going back to in-person classes and the transition was just too difficult for me. Goosey saved my life. He gave me a reason to wake up in the morning, and he gave me a purpose, which, albeit, was to give that cat as much love as I could. We developed a bond because we spent so much time together. He's basically attached to me at this point. He climbs all over me, he sleeps at my head, he hangs out with me wherever I go. And so that bond is really meaningful to me because I think he helped save my life. So to recap, I told you about Goosey's story, how I saved him, and how he saved me. I'm happy to tell you that now Goosey is perfectly healthy. He has both eyes, albeit there's a tiny scar on his left eye, and the atrophy in his back legs has healed. When I got him, he was 7.4 pounds, and as of yesterday's vet appointment, he is now 9.5. And his back legs are so healed that he runs around up and down the stairs all the time. He jumps up on tables, on the bed, you name it. Sometimes he shouldn't be though. And I think this all really just goes to show that pets do for us as much as we do for them. Because as for me, I feel like I'm in a lot of a better place because I was motivated to help this animal. I could help myself. So I guess the moral is maybe head to the SPCA. You might just find a new friend and a lifelong partner. Thank you.